to add shifts by copying them over for individual workers, I'm going to show you how to add a template shift to populate the shifts for the whole department in week-long increments. So if I go ahead and scroll forward to a week that we haven't put anything in, like this week, I can go ahead and click on this expand menu button so you guys can see all the buttons and what they do. And I'm going to go ahead and click on my schedules. From here, I see this template here. It says FOH basic week. And if I click import, it's going to prompt me to check either of these boxes. Don't check either of them because these are only used on one-off bases for either callouts in this case or to direct workers to certain areas in this case. So if I click yes, it's going to think for a little bit and then it's going to give me a couple of problems here. And so I see that a couple of workers who have previously worked with this department are no longer with us. So it says conflict description, worker does not belong to this schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and click remove for all of these because these are all worker does not belong to this schedule. And as soon as I do that, it gives me this option to paste schedule. So if you ever have somebody, a worker who is not part of your schedule anymore, you're going to need to do this and then resave that schedule. So once I click paste, it's going to give me all of these basic shifts, these shifts pre-populated for the whole department. The template for the whole department, I'm going to need to re-add this test worker's shifts. So I'm going to go ahead and again create a test, or my first schedule 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a 30-minute break, no notes. I'm going to go ahead and say create shift. From there, I'm going to copy it over by holding the command button. And now from here, I'm going to show you how to resave it. So first, I'm going to go into my schedules and I'm going to copy the name of this schedule over. And the reason for this is because if you don't use the same name, you come up with a problem like we have right here, where I have base FOH template, FOH basic week, and you could get confused and forget which of these templates is the one that you actually are using currently. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that name over like I just did, and now I'm going to go into here and say save template. From here, I'm going to paste that name in, and once I click save, it's going to say a template with this name already exists. Do you want to replace with this template? So I'm going to say yes. You're going to always want to make sure that this menu shows up so that you don't have the issue with multiple template shifts showing up in that menu. And once I click yes, now I can go forward a week and I can go ahead and paste this shift template again. I'm going to import it, not checking these boxes. And then it's going to show me that, okay, now I have these test workers shifts into the template. This test workers shifts to the template. I'm going to need to remove them because he's not actually in the system. So the process for this and then saving the template is much the same. I'm going to go ahead and click on this schedule. It's going to give me this option to delete the shift. I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of these. And then I'm going to do that same thing that I showed you guys. I'm going to click on my schedules. I'm going to click on rename here, and I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to resave it, paste that same name in, and then it's going to prompt me that a template with this name already exists. And so I'm going to go ahead and replace it with this new template. It's going to give you that drop down right there, template save. A department with multiple week rotations, for example, a CNA department or an LVN department, you can create multiple templates, call it week 1, week 2, and week 3 to account for all of these weeks. So I'm going to show you how that works. I'm going to go to this skilled nursing CNAs department, and we see here that we've written in week 2. So I know that I should be pasting in week 2 for this week on the scheduler. And so if I go ahead and go to my schedules, I see that we've created rotation week 1, rotation week 2, and rotation week 3. So if I go ahead and import rotation week 2 right here, not checking either of these boxes, we're going to see that paste in. Once it's finished loading, there we go. And so we can see, okay, we've got Nancy here, 3-1. And then if I go into this next week and I paste in week 3, you can see if I go over to this scheduler V3, and if I go to the 4-week view, we can now see, oh, I need to change the view. We can now see these different rotations. So Rebecca's on a 3-2 and then a 4-1, and then she requested off. And we can see that rotation just carries over because the 3-week rotations are set up to where you don't have to create, for example, a template for the workers on this rotation and then a different template for the workers on this rotation, because it accounts for all of them, because it's going out essentially infinitely, because the shift rotations just switch over every 3 weeks from week 3 to